If you suffer from irritable bowel syndrome and pelvic floor problems, you know just how debilitating flare-ups can be. The bloating, the abdominal pain, the urgent bathroom trips. It can completely derail your day and make your pelvic floor symptoms significantly worse. Hi, I'm guiding you through a complete emergency management plan for IBS flare-ups that will provide immediate relief and protect your pelvic floor. After working with hundreds of clients and researching the latest treatment approaches, I've compiled these proven strategies that work when you need relief most. Whether you're dealing with bloating, constipation, diarrhea, or all three, this video will give you practical solutions you can implement today. IBS affects nearly 20% of people worldwide. That's 1 in every 5 people dealing with this frustrating condition. The problem is that many bounce between treating individual symptoms. Constipation one day, diarrhea the next, bloating the day after, without holistically addressing the underlying condition. Let's start by understanding what's happening during an IBS flare-up and how it affects your pelvic floor. IBS and pelvic floor connection. When you have IBS, your digestive system becomes hypersensitive. Certain foods, stress, or changes in routine can trigger your intestines to either contract too quickly, causing diarrhea, or too slowly, causing constipation. This disruption also affects how water is absorbed in your colon. What many people don't realize is how closely IBS is connected to your pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor muscles are located at the bottom of your pelvis. They support organs like your bladder, uterus, if you have one, and rectum. When your abdomen becomes distended with gas and fluid during an IBS flare-up, it places tremendous downward pressure on these muscles. Over time, this pressure can weaken your pelvic floor, leading to issues like urinary incontinence, pelvic organ prolapse, pelvic pain, sexual dysfunction. That's why it's crucial to manage IBS flare-ups quickly and effectively. Doing so can address digestive discomfort and protect your pelvic floor health. Now, let's explore specific strategies for each major symptom. Bloating occurs when certain sugars in food aren't properly digested, leading to increased gas and fluid in the bowel. This creates an uncomfortable distended feeling and puts significant pressure on the pelvic floor. Here are 5 effective strategies for immediate bloating relief. First, apply heat therapy. Lie on your back with knees bent and place a warm compress over your abdomen for 15 to 20 minutes. The heat relaxes intestinal muscles and provides immediate comfort. If that position is uncomfortable, try lying on your side with the hot pack wrapped around your middle. Second, use helpful positions to relieve gas. Kneeling on all fours with your head down and buttocks raised helps gas move through your system. Alternatively, try gentle hip rotations while standing. I'll demonstrate both positions. Demonstrate positions. Third, consider an antispasmodic medication like Buscopan. It reduces intestinal spasms and typically works within 20 minutes. Always check with your pharmacist before taking any medication, but this is my go-to recommendation during severe flare-ups. Fourth, try herbal remedies like iberogast or enteric-coated peppermint oil capsules. The special coating ensures the peppermint oil reaches your intestines rather than dissolving in your stomach, which could cause heartburn. Finally, protect your pelvic floor when passing gas. Avoid straining or bearing down. Instead, use the positions I mentioned earlier and perform gentle Kegel exercises throughout the day to maintain pelvic floor strength. When constipation strikes during an IBS flare-up, it creates a backup in your digestive system that can make bloating worse and put even more pressure on your pelvic floor. Here's what to do. First, get moving. Movement stimulates peristalsis, the wave-like contractions that move waste through your intestines. Even gentle walking for 10 to 15 minutes can help get things moving again. Second, and this might surprise you, avoid suddenly increasing your fiber intake. Contrary to standard advice, adding more fiber when you're already constipated can make the blockage worse. Wait until the current episode resolves before gradually increasing your fiber intake. Third, use proper bathroom techniques. The brace and bulge technique helps empty your bowels without straining. Sit with your feet elevated on a small stool. Lean forward slightly and allow your abdominal muscles to relax forward rather than pushing downward. This aligns your rectum properly and makes bowel movements easier. Fourth, consider an osmotic laxative like Miralax or Osmolax. These work by drawing fluid into the bowel to soften stool and stimulate movement. They're gentler on your system than stimulant laxatives and can be used regularly without dependency. Remember to increase your water intake when using these products. Aim for an extra 1 to 2 glasses per dose. Fifth, limit fatty foods during a flare-up. They can slow down transit time and worsen constipation. Focus on easily digestible foods until the episode passes. Finally, you will perform Kegel exercises after each bowel movement to maintain pelvic floor strength. Contract the muscles you'd use to stop urinating. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds and release. Repeat 5 to 10 times. For those experiencing diarrhea during an IBS flare-up, the urgent need to use the bathroom can be highly disruptive and put significant strain on your pelvic floor. Here are the most effective emergency strategies. First, take an anti-diarrheal medication like Imodium. This slows down intestinal transit time and can provide quick relief. Consult your pharmacist about the appropriate dosage, but typically, 1 to 2 tablets at the first sign of loose stools can help. Second, incorporate binding foods into your diet. White bread, rice, and mashed potatoes can help slow gastric motility and firm stools. This isn't your everyday nutrition advice, but these simple carbohydrates can be your allies during a flare-up. Third, stay hydrated, but be mindful of what you drink. Diarrhea quickly leads to dehydration, so drink plenty of clear fluids. Room temperature water is often better tolerated than cold beverages during a flare-up. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, and sugary drinks, as these can make diarrhea worse. And again, protect your pelvic floor by performing Kegel exercises after each bathroom visit. Frequent bowel movements put extra strain on these muscles, so this step is crucial for preventing long-term pelvic floor dysfunction. Now, let's talk about the food connection. During an acute flare-up, temporarily avoiding high FODMAP foods can provide significant relief. FODMAPs are fermentable carbohydrates in many common foods that can trigger IBS symptoms. The most common culprits include wheat products like bread and pasta, dairy products, including milk, yogurt, and soft cheeses, certain fruits like apples, mangoes, watermelon, and pears, onions and garlic, which are in almost everything, beans, lentils, and other legumes, artificial sweeteners, and honey. Instead, focus on these low FODMAP alternatives: rice and rice-based products, lactose-free milk or almond milk, safe fruits like strawberries, oranges, grapes in moderation, vegetables like carrots, potatoes, spinach, and zucchini, protein sources like meat, fish, and eggs, pumpkin seeds, and small amounts of almonds. This isn't a forever diet. It's an emergency measure during flare-ups. Under guidance, a complete low-FODMAP approach should be followed for 2 to 6 weeks, and then foods are systematically reintroduced to identify your specific triggers. I can't end this video without mentioning stress management. Stress is a major trigger for IBS flare-ups and can make all symptoms worse. During an acute episode, try these quick stress reduction techniques. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Breathe slowly through your nose, allowing your belly to expand while your chest remains relatively still. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat for 2 to 3 minutes. Progressive muscle relaxation. Tense, and then release each muscle group in your body, starting from your toes and working up to your head. Mindfulness meditation. Focus on the present moment, acknowledging sensations without judgment. Even just 5 minutes of these practices can help calm your nervous system and reduce the severity of your symptoms. Effectively managing IBS flare-ups requires addressing immediate symptoms while protecting long-term digestive and pelvic floor health. By applying these emergency strategies, heat therapy, proper positioning, targeted medications, temporary dietary adjustments, and stress management, you can significantly reduce the duration and intensity of your flare-ups. Remember that while IBS is a chronic condition, it doesn't have to control your life. With these tools in your arsenal, you can respond quickly to flare-ups and minimize their impact on your daily activities and pelvic floor health. If you found this information helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to help out the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, we will see you in the following video.